I believe in myself.
Yeah.
I believe in the product. I know that these products are useful. These products are needed. That's the main thing that is needed.
Yeah.
And it's like a mission for me to help people, to help small businesses to survive, because every chargeback, every fraud are harmful for them.
Yeah.
And I want to give a chance to survive and not to feed their families, to earn the money that are very important
Yeah.
for them.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Inspiring Founders Podcast. Today we have a special guest all the way from the Ukraine who's going to be joining us. He's a developer turned into a startup founder, and we're going to get a chance to learn everything about their past, their journey, what it's like to be a startup founder in the Ukraine, and even more. So stay tuned.
It's very late for me. I hadn't went to sleep because it's easier for me not to sleep than get up early on early morning.
All right, so here we go. Welcome to another episode of the Inspiring Founders Podcast. Today we have a special guest all the way from the Ukraine, though via Zoom, and his name is Mykyta. His startup is called Billioncore, and we're going to dive into what it's like to be a founder in the Ukraine, and also to talk about his journey from being a developer to being a founder and to actually having a startup and everything right now. So before we get started, why don't you introduce yourself to us, Mykyta, and let us know, a little bit about you currently and about your startup, and then we'll just start having a great discussion.
Yes, sure. My name is Mykyta. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Kiev. I was born in a city Zaporizhia. It's a southeastern part of Ukraine. I studied the year. I had graduated from the Zaporizhia State University and got a master's degree of software engineering in this university. So I started my way as a software engineer there. I started my way as a software engineer in the university. In the university, there was a department that are making the IT solutions for the Zaporizhia State University. And there I created a few projects for Zaporizhia State University. I believed in the architecture. I believed in the creating of the solutions that are helpful for the people, are good for the people. Then I've got some experience. I've got the basic experience of architecture, of creating projects, of something like that, and went to work on the private company. My first private company was Solid Solutions. It's the local Zaporizhia outsource company. There I've got my first real experience on real projects. It was American projects and Australian projects, everything, everywhere, all over the world. I had a very, very different experience, amazing experience I've got. And then
you went straight from university to one private company, and then you started your own startup, right? Like that?
Yes, I started my way when it started the wave of laying off of the software engineers because of the population of AI. It was the first wave, and the founder of the project where I was working decided to not to use the software engineers and using instead of AI. So I was one of the first guys who was laid off because of this.
That happens. That seems to be happening a lot. I don't know.
Yes.
Is that a trend in the Ukraine? Are they using AI for all of their software development now, and they're not hiring engineers the way that they used to?
This trend was in the Australian project where I was working. It's an Australian real estate project, and the founder decided to use AI instead of the software engineering.
Yeah.
I think that's sure it's his decision, but as a software engineer with the skills, with the experience, I think that AI are not changing.
Yeah.
I shouldn't change the software engineer. It's a dev tool
Yeah.
for a software engineer. It make me to deliver the result better and faster.
Exactly.
But that will not change because the AI, even if we are talking about Opus 4.8 or something like this, is the best model, the best model on the market. But even Opus 4 and 8 have a very, very bad solutions if it's not prompted very well, and if a software engineer are not supervising it, the result.
Is that why you decided to create Billioncore? Is
Yes.
Billioncore kind of one of the solutions that you saw, was happening in software development? Tell us more about Billioncore. First of all, what is the product?
Billioncore is a service that are created to protect the small and middle retail businesses of fraud and chargebacks. I discovered the market for the opportunities, for the interesting things, and so interesting trend for me, interesting trend and not very good trend in United States, United Kingdom, European Union, where it's a large project, a large problem with the chargebacks and the payment fraud.
Yeah.
And as I saw, there are the solutions that will be compatible for small businesses, for middle businesses, because the existing products are expensive, or either they are expensive, either they are making the anti-fraud protection after the transaction happened. So a person are knowing about the chargeback when it happened. Is it useful? Not so good for me. And I investigated the threats. It's a place where you can see everything everywhere about the pains, about the problems of the real founders. There I saw the list of real stories where people, for example, one story about the Shopify shop. Founder had just the sticker, $4 stickers.
Okay.
Somebody bought $4 stickers, and these $4 stickers reverted to the $25 chargeback. So it costs to a founder $25 this sticker instead of earning $4. This story fought in my heart. I thought that I need to destroy this and to help small businesses and middle businesses to protect them. What is my solution?
Just before you go to your solution, just for the people who are listening who don't really understand what a chargeback is or what payment fraud is, for an e-commerce store or for any company really, but for an e-commerce store specifically, a chargeback happens when somebody buys a product with a credit card, and then the person who owns the credit card complains to their bank and says, "This is not my." Somebody stole my card or something. This is not my purchase. And then the bank gives the money back to the customer, and then they charge the e-commerce store the $25 you're talking about. That's what you're...
They charge the extra fee and return the money. So it's much more expensive to get the chargeback for the business.
Yeah. And do
Yeah.
you know about this before you've shipped the product, or what if the e-commerce person shipped the product? Did they
I
lose?
knew about this, but the story is interesting of the creating even the Billioncore solution.
Okay.
Because before this, I had the first version of this product. It was written on the PHP, but I saw that its performance are not so good because I tried all my best. I wanted the best solution of the market. I am an engineer in the maximalist engineering. I want to make the best solution.
Yes.
The technical elegance, the fastest. And the PHP hadn't gave me this because that's not a problem of PHP. It's not built for the fastest solutions. And then I started to learn the Go language.
Golang from Google's engineering language. Okay.
Yes. And the core of Billioncore are built on the Go.
Okay.
And I reduced the latency time from 2.5 milliseconds, 2,500 milliseconds are reduced to 5 milliseconds.
Wow.
So it's the fastest solutions on the market.
Okay.
Just 5 milliseconds, no any conversional reduces, no any troubles, and the customer are not even see that something happened on the backend.
So I know that there are some, especially a lot of Shopify owners, they are not developers or engineers. They don't understand code. Is this hard for them to install? I mean, how can they use this with their Shopify store if they don't really understand like how to install it and make it work and everything?
The first solution are the simplest as possible. They can just sign up on my service. If they are not developers, they can test and check the playground. It's a special page on my service where they can just see, open the not good transactions, not good orders, just see enter its bin number and see what was this bin number, what was its performance. And if customer will want to have this solution, I have an API that are very, very easy to integrate.
Okay.
It's have a very good documentation, very easy with examples on any popular programming language. So I think I can integrate this, and any software engineer can integrate this solution just for one business day.
How big does the company need to be in order for this to be a reasonable expense for them? Because some of these small shops, they might lose $25, $100 a month. At what scale do they need to be using, or losing money before they look for a solution like this?
The scale is when they are starting losing more than they are earning, and when they have such cases as this sticker, when they earned 4 times less than they needed to income, and that's not a very good news for a small shop.
No,
because small shops are living by one item, 3 items, and every sale are important. And when it comes a chargeback, it loses the 4 such sales for a person.
How did you? So, do you have e-commerce stores? Like, how did you feel this pain? How did you know that this was something that you needed to solve for small businesses? Did you were you the one selling stickers, or do you sell things online and we're getting chargebacks?
I'm not selling, but I monitoring the threats, and also I studied this. I talked with some founders of the shops, e-commerce shops from United States, from European Union. I saw that they have the problem with chargebacks. It's painful problem, and the most painful problem is for small shops, because they are not earning too much money, and every chargebacks are very painful for them.
Yeah.
So if they will find the solution that will help them to see the chargeback before it comes, it will save their money.
Yeah.
I'm given the instrument that will save the part of money that can be saved.
Yeah. So when you are, before you were developing this, how did you do your customer discovery? Like, how did you find the customers to talk to so that you could see if there was a solution worth fixing, for you? Did you just go to Etsy stores and start calling people, or Shopify stores, or how did you do your customer discovery? A lot of founders have trouble with this first part.
Just threads, and started read the threads, read the posts of the people. It's the real founders, the real Shopify founders, Magento founders. They have the same pains, the same troubles. There are a lot of posts there that here was chargeback, here was chargeback. There was a case where somebody just tested the stolen card on the checkout. It's also the pain. So I read this pain. I had some conversations with these founders, understood the pains, and I've made the new versions that are that will stop this pain, or just reduce this pain.
Got it. So you were able to build your MVP, and then these people who you reached out to, were they willing to pilot it for you? Did they try it out? How many people do you have using your product?
Now I have 10 retail businesses that are testing, and now I am searching for more retail businesses that want to test this. It's the first month for them are totally free. That's because first month is the starting end for them and for me, because the algorithm that I built are unique, new, and nobody used bin numbers for this case before, because my solution are based on the bin numbers performance.
Nice.
Before this, bin checkers just outputted the data about the card and merchant, and from which bank it's, and not very rich information. I saw this, and I saw that the number have more potential than just getting the information about the bank. I used to find some other sources of data, connected these sources of data, and built the analytic layer on this. And now I'm given not only the information about the bank, I'm given the information about the performance of this bin. For example, it can be a good bin that can be approved and go ahead in with this. Then I have the second status of the bin number. It can be moderate. So this the founder should see this. This bin number. And the third category, the beans with the bad performance.
Mm-hmm.
This is the category where the chargeback is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be better to not to use this order,
Yeah.
just to decline this order. Yes, it's a pity sometimes, that's not very good, but it's cheaper to not to have this order than to get this order.
Yeah.
And my business are going to give this power and opportunity to the founders.
So do you have, like, how do the e-commerce store owners know that your product is working? Do you give them data? Do you give them a report? What kind of outcome or output do they get to see from your product?
The output they see on their side, because my solution are working before the transaction happens.
Oh, okay.
So that's not like a traditional anti-fraud engines which are working after the
I see.
transaction happens.
I see.
That builds before the transaction happens. So the founder have a chance to decline the transaction before it happens.
I see. So you give them a signal. You give them a
Yes.
signal and you say, this is probably fraud, and then they can decide not to accept it.
Yes.
And then at the end of the month, can you give them a report or something that says, like, hey, we caught like 32 transactions that were signaled as fraud. I don't know how many of them you accepted or not, but we caught them.
This power I am giving to the customer with the help of an API.
Nice.
Because this software engineering, I give all the needed information by the API.
Mm-hmm.
Software engineer implements the logic as wish a customer. So I'm giving all the power to the customer. He receives a ready decision about this bin. And then he can build any logic he wants. Mm-hmm. So he can automatically reduce the bad orders.
Yep.
Just before they create it, and they will see the result on their site by the reducing of the chargebacks. That's the main result.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't see the result, but I'm asking about their feedbacks.
Yep.
Anytime. I'm trying to ask feedbacks about the bin numbers. If some bin numbers really helped, if something not helped, and I'm correcting my algorithm and adding the data and improving. Mm-hmm. That's self-improvement. It is symbiotic. Work with the founders helps to improve my product and improve their sales.
Yeah.
So it's symbiotic.
That's a great founder story. That's very common for founders who are, they're just starting. They're bringing their product to market. They're running some pilots with some customers. They have good customers who are giving them feedback, and they're adapting and changing their product around. So that part sounds pretty traditional, pretty well run by you. So congratulations on that. But what are some of the challenges that you're facing? Because a lot of founders that I talk with, they don't really know what they don't know. So they start their company, they get going, they get excited, they build technology and all the kind of things. Have you raised money? Have you had any challenges with funding? Are you running into any challenges with serving your customers? Like, what are some of the things that you are facing right now?
The most hard thing that I faced here before this, I thought that software engineering are very hard thing and the hardest part of the product, but I was wrong. The hardest part is marketing and involving of the clients. And as a founder, this is one of my biggest challenges because I need to learn the marketing, the sales from the zero. That's the the new field for me. And I started this. I knew how to make the cold emails. I knew how to make this SMM job as in threads. I'm the only SMM manager in my threads. And I learned all this. This is the first challenge for me. And the additional challenge for me that I'm an introverted person, I'm a closed person, and for this to become a founder, I need to talk more, to be more open, to speak with people more and more. That's my inside challenge.
Yep. How do you tell me the story of how you overcome that anxiety of talking to people? There's a lot of founders who are so scared of talking to people that they would rather send an email or a survey or something than to just get on the phone, or even do like you're doing with me right now and just saying, hey, I will talk to you face to face.
That's very hard for me anytime, but the receipt of this, conquering of this thing, I think that when you're facing your scares, you need to face them and conquer them. When you are trying, where you outcoming of your comfortable zone, this the only receipt when you conquer your scares.
Mm-hmm. And then when you do, right? When you do it, when you walk through that fear and you do it, then is there a feeling that you get at the end where you're like, oh yes, I did it. Like, is there an excitement that you get?
Yes, I did it any time. After one more email, one more conversation with some managers, some founders, any conversation are reasonable for me. As I said, I'm an introverted person. Any email are very important for me, are very personal for me. So I'm conquering myself. And my future goal, to become more open person, more extroverted person, because the founder should be such. That's I at home I can be introverted, not to communicate, but as a founder I should to communicate.
If Billioncore gets big, you're going to have to go fly all over the world and talk to people, right? You're going to have to go to the conferences where people are talking about fraud, and you're going to have to maybe give speeches about it. So good for you. Are you a solo founder? Are you just by yourself, or do you have anyone else that you're working with?
I'm a solo founder now. I'm looking for the salespersons. I'm looking for marketing persons. I'm understanding that I'm deep technical person. I'm a technician. I should to know how to sell. I should to know how to marketing. But some people are best in marketing. Some people are best in sales. So I'm looking for such people. And about my solo, I don't have any fundraising. I don't have any partners now. So I'm beginning from zero. And I think this is the most interesting part of startup, from zero. Try to grow from the seed to
What do you think makes that possible today? Because that wasn't possible in the past. You couldn't just say, hey, I'm going to start a cybersecurity company and prevent fraud and chargebacks and just do this by yourself. Are you using AI? Are you implementing, what are you doing that makes it possible for you to have a whole entire company all by yourself?
For the coding, I'm using Cloud Code to improve my speed. That's the basic.
You're gonna have to lay yourself off.
Yes. I'm. For example, I have a full-time job now, and I have the second full-time job as a founder in my own company. after the working day, I am starting, I am doing some tasks, some features, bug fixes. As a software engineering, I'm the only software engineer in my company, so I should to do this stuff. And then I am going to the marketing. For example, I am spending about 4 hours per day to the marketing,
Wow.
collecting the leads, sending the emails, going to the threads where I found you,
Yeah.
and this is the second and the most important for me from the job.
Yeah. In the beginning, the founder probably needs to get the first 100 clients at least,
Yes.
and you're doing exactly that. And it's going to take a lot of your time. There's a lot of tools out there that can help you. And I'll put in a plug for Radiate, because Radiate is, a company that I built myself to help founders to do more social media marketing and stuff. So if you want to try that out, I'd be happy to set you up with an account. You can try it out and see if it helps you save some of those 4 hours, because that's a lot of time. But, being a solo founder and having access to AI and Claude Code and having this, huge power that you used to have an entire engineering team to do what you can probably do by yourself now, right?
As for me, I think at the start it will be more than enough. Me as a software engineer, because inside in the backend, the project now are not so big, so I can do it by my own. Then when it will rise, yes, I will hire some software engineers.
Yeah.
I will be needed. I will need a technical support team. I will need a sales team. So I will need to grow.
How do you know when that
Yes,
is time?
When it's time, when I will not be able to deal with with the tasks, with the amount of tasks, and with the amount of the technical support. This is the point when I should to hire a person and hire immediately.
Yeah.
And ideally, I should to hire them before I started to face these problems.
That's a big challenge for founders, to know when either you need to raise money so that you can make these hires, or are you going to continue to try to bootstrap this by yourself? Are you going to try to stay self-funded, or maybe make enough money from your customers to be able to hire people? What's your thinking around that? Are you going to stay small and keep growing slowly, or are you going to try to raise money at some point?
I want to raise money. Money is if it will be possible. Sure, it's a very good way to raise, and to raise higher and faster, because when you're bootstrapping, you have a not high budget. You're growing slowly. Maybe that's cool for a small company, but my ambitions are not small now. I think the bad businessman is which wants to stay in the garage, like the first companies did it, like Amazon, Apple. They will never grow up if the Steve Jobs or Joseph Bezos wanted just to stay in the garage.
Yeah.
So I want in the future that Billioncore will be a standard instead of the payments. So, and
let's talk about Ukraine for a little bit, because well, first of all, I want to know, like, how are you affected by the war? How is that affecting the economy, the startup scene? How does that affect your ability to have a startup and those things? But I also want to talk about the investment ecosystem there in the Ukraine. Are there investors? Are there venture capitalists there? Is there money that is being invested in startups? Tell me about what's happening in the Ukraine.
In Ukraine, there are large amount of startups. It's ecosystem, yes, but the startups are fundraising on the actual in Ukraine problems. So the problem of chargebacks and fraud are not so hard here in Ukraine.
I
So
see.
I'm doing the problem and the business of the markets where it's existing.
I see.
So I not be able to fundraising here in Ukraine because the people will not invest in the thing that are not need to Ukraine. Uh,
That
as
makes
for
sense.
war, its effects on all of Ukrainians. Yes, its effects every day. Its effects on economy. The economy is struggling or the war. Also, any day can be a rocket missile to the Kiev, like it was 2 days ago.
Wow.
It was the hard rocket missile here.
Wow.
And it's not as terrible as the people are thinking about this. Some customers with I talked before when I was a software engineer. I thought that we're here anytime in the underground somewhere, hiding because it's bombs here every day, every night. But it's not so. But it's hard to bootstrap here because of the dangers and the electricity problems. Because there are not so often the electricity can be. Also, the problem that I faced is that some payment services are not working in Ukraine. For example, Stripe are not working in Ukraine. Paddle are working in Ukraine, but they saw that I'm from Ukraine and declined my trying to open the subscriptions.
Yeah.
Now for the first step in my website, I have to use the crypto as the payment.
Wow.
Because now it's the only one way how I can get the money on the first step.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, and that's in my future plans to earn the money, first money, then open the company somewhere where it's the free economic zone.
Mm-hmm.
So something like Hong Kong, UK, America. In Seattle, America, I know that there are such opportunities for the foreign startups somewhere, and to have the opportunity to get the payments in normal way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and it sounds very challenging. I mean, it's hard enough being a startup founder in the Silicon Valley, which is right in the middle of all of it and all the VCs and everything. It must be enormously difficult for you to be a startup founder in a situation, like in the Ukraine, where you're not only dealing with, the war, but you're dealing with customers who are not in the Ukraine. So I imagine you're spending a lot of late nights talking with customers here in the United States and, working with people who are a lot of the e-commerce and the small businesses that are affected by this are here in the United States. Are there any other areas in the world that you're seeing this pop up that are as big as the United States? Like maybe is Australia? Is this happening there? Is there other stuff happening in, Europe or whatever?
Yes, I'm trying to not only talk with the United States customers. I'm talking with the United Kingdom customers. I sent the tons of cold emails to the UK retails, and also I am trying to find the customers in the Netherlands and the Germany, where such problems are hard and existing also. But as I can say that it's very hard in the beginning, because when you are not famous, you're not famous startup, your cold email just close it, or thinking that's least silly spam from somewhere.
Yeah.
And but I'm trying to deal with this, and I think I believe in myself.
Yeah.
I believe in the product. I know that these products are useful. These products are needed. That's the main thing that is needed.
Yeah.
And it's like a mission for me to help people, to help small businesses to survive, because every chargeback, every fraud are harmful for them.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
and I want to give a chance to survive, and not to and to feed their families, to earn the money that are very and very important for them.
Mykyta, that's a great place for us to end the conversation. I really love what you're doing. I love that you're driven by that mission and that you're in it for the little guy to help them out, because we know that, it's hard enough to survive in this world if you have a lot of resources, but it is extremely hard to survive if you don't. And if you're an e-commerce company and you're fighting fraud on your own, or the chargebacks, or you're losing money because of these things, and it's $1 billion industry. I mean, I think that fraud accounts for $3 or $4 billion of loss for e-commerce every year. At least that was a number that I had heard. But thank you for being on my show, and I really enjoyed the conversation. I wish you the best of luck, and stay in touch with me, keep me updated on what you're doing and everything. And then I'll put information about Billioncore in the show notes so that people can reach out to you if they're interested. One last question, because you and I we met on Threads, the social media service from Meta. They put it out. So Threads, and I like Threads a lot because you can have these kind of more personal conversations. But are you on any other social media? Do you do like the Instagram or LinkedIn or any of that other stuff?
I have a LinkedIn, I have an Instagram, but I think that Threads are very underrated social media if you want to face somebody face to face. It makes you closer to the founders. If you're just writing a message in LinkedIn, it's just another message for a founder. It can be just a noise. If you have a LinkedIn, maybe you have the tons of emails of messages different. Some HR, some people that just are messaging to you. So this will be just another noise. And when you're facing in the threats, you're facing that personally.
Yeah.
And there are the possibility. It's the bridge between the people from anywhere, and that's the most underrated place where you can meet your ICP.
Yeah.
And I recommend this.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Shh, we don't want to tell everybody because then we'll give away all your marketing secrets. But okay. Mykyta, thank you so much again for being on the show. And that's a wrap. We're just going to wrap it up. I'll do some editing. We'll put it up on YouTube and I'll let you know.
Yes. Thank you so much. I was very glad to see you and be on this show.
Thank you very much. I'm going to